What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. And in today, actually I should tonight, I guess. Well, that's when I'm recording it. Tonight, we're gonna be looking at something a little interesting. It's on Sunstrike 4, and it's on the 5th German mission of the campaign, the Battle of Kursk, Operation Citadel. Um, and it's basically on the second part of the mission. And what it has to do with is the defense of your positions as the German Wehrmacht, the German army. So what does this mean? So I played through this mission. So spoiler: in this mission, you start initially back here near the end of this railroad track, and you have to advance to take this village. As you can see, some buildings have been destroyed. So I've already taken this village and this village. Once you do that, you have to take this village up here. But really what happens is if you send your forces up here, they'll tell you turn around and go back as the Russians are counterattacking here at this farm and counterattacking over here. So what you want to do is you want to set up your forces in a defensive posture. I mean, you could see I've gone all out. All my tanks are fortified with infantry in forward positions and in buildings. But over here, not nearly as fortified. The only forces of mine that are over here, because all these other forces are AI forces of the game. The only forces over here are these 3 artillery positions. These 205mm howitzers and this one PaK 40 anti-tank gun. The reason why is over here the Russian attack is not nearly as severe. Whereas at the farm, you're going to get like 5 waves of a lot of Russian tanks. Particularly a lot of KV-1s, which is a problem for you as even the best tanks you have in your little platoon here, I shouldn't say platoon, but even in your armored group here, the Panzer IV H's, and the Stug 3, I believe that's a G, yeah, the Stug 3Gs. And there's also there's another kind of Stug, the Stug, where was it? There's a late version of this. Anyway, those vehicles, they have a difficult time penetrating the KV-1. Oh boy, excuse me. They can do it, but they don't do a lot of damage. So you want to be prepared for that. So basically what I've done, I've put 1 soldier in a captured Willie's Jeep, and I'm going to have him drive up to the village. So he should, of course, be able to trigger the Russian counterattack. And you want to be prepared because it's a big counterattack.
Move to the farm immediately and defend it. Scouts report numerous enemy tanks coming from the north.
Alright, there it is. Okay. So we'll drop him back here, and I'm going to take this group of soldiers.
Infanterie einsatzbereit.
And place them here.
Bewegung, Soldaten.
I mean, you could see I'm pretty well prepared. We'll have them lay down. That's good. Alright. So you can see the recon, it shows KV-1s, T-34s. Now, for any history buffs out there, those might not seem like such hard targets, but you have to remember, a large part of your force is Panzer IIIs, and those only have 50mm guns, so they don't really do that great. So, here come the Soviets, and as a precautionary measure, I'm going to put my supply trucks here so they can resupply the Panzerwerfers if they run out of ammo. So the first Russian attack is coming. As you can see, they're getting absolutely destroyed. Between the Panzerwerfers, the tanks and the dug-in tanks and infantry and buildings, it's not going well for the Soviets.
Their counterattack was weak. Now make preparations. We commence the attack soon.
We're being overrun by a large number of tanks. We need reinforcements.
Request acknowledged.
So, here come the Soviets down here. Now, like I said earlier, you don't really have to send reinforcements. It's really not a big of a deal. The Soviets, their attack here is not, it's not a very big one, so you don't really have to worry too much. You only got 2 T-34s, which of course they make quick work of half tracks, but you know, they're gonna have a more difficult time against dug-in anti-tank positions. And this fortification ability is really a good one. It gives any units that are fortified, gives them a lot more health and a lot more hit points. And here come more Soviet tanks. Here come the Ruskies. So, you know, certainly if I didn't place artillery positions here, I don't really think we'd be doing this well. Now, of course, these are the howitzers are a little different. The Pack 40s are great. That's a dedicated anti-tank gun. That's the gun in the Panther tank, actually. Whereas the howitzers are just your standard artillery.
Kanonen einsatzbereit.
So, I mean, pretty much that's the Soviet attack here. You really don't have to worry. You'll see all the units you get at the beginning of the mission. So you get 3 artillery, towed artillery. That's the 3 artillery over here that I placed. So we can come back to the farm, and you know, of course, here at the farm, everybody's doing just fine because we're pretty well dug in. I would seriously recommend you follow this, digging in your tanks in a kind of defensive ring, and then putting the infantry just in front of them and in buildings to give them a further scope of a line of sight out into the field to allow you to engage the Russian armor farther out. Really great, and pretty much guarantees success. Says return to the farm and defend it. I mean, kind of already here. So, this is the next part of the mission. The Russians actually decide to attack your German forces here on the west. Oh yeah, on the left flank, as he says. But you don't have to really worry. You don't freak out. Don't try to move your forces away from the farm, because you get reinforced with a pretty interesting group of tanks. So you could see you get a Tiger 1, which at this mission is amazing. It's an elite crew, and you get 2 Ferdinands with long infantry and a Panzer IV-H. These tanks will make extremely quick work of Soviet tanks. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Because I mean, these things have 88 millimeters, and they got way more armor and all that kind of jazz. It's just, it's not fair. It's the best way to put it. So you don't really have to worry. Plus, their armor is amazing. I mean, you can see Ferdinand over 200 millimeters of frontal armor. Tiger's got 100. You know that the Soviet tanks are really not going to have a great day. So your goal is to make sure they don't reach the anti-air.
Anti-aircraft units.
Transporter meldet sich zum Dienst. Erwarte Befehle. Zu Befehl.
So you can place the infantry out front as usual, just as cannon fodder, you know. there really is no damage being done because these things have such great armor and such great firepower.
Those Russian tanks don't compare to our superior panzers.
Russian tanks ahead. I see 5, 10, 20, about 40 or more coming. My God, there are too many of them to count.
This must be a major counterattack. Hold the line at all costs.
Ja, Kommandant?
More air
And
support is
we
available.
can just
Use
place
it well.
these tanks here. They have 88mm guns, 3 of them. Those have, of course, a really far range. So we'll just place them there. And at this point, you've repelled the attack on the right side of the map over here. Oh, what a clusterfuck that is. And you have defeated it on the left flank over here. So now the Russians are just going to attack and attack and attack your farm for the next few minutes. So you want to really... And by the way, you get 2 anti-air flak panzers. You want to make sure those are being used.
Erwarte Befehle.
I mean, you could see that amount of tanks. That is a lot of tanks.
Feindliche Einheiten.
So, and if you want, you could just place a recon plane like I have. I mean, I don't really need to, but placing a recon plane is not a bad idea. It, you know, especially allows your Panzerwerfers to reach further out. But remember, the Panzerwerfers, they expend a lot of ammo very quickly, but they're very effective, so I would highly recommend you keep them topped up.
We destroyed 100 and they just keep coming. How could they muster such reserves?
Because they're Russians, and they bump out tanks like
More air
crazy.
support is available. Use it well.
Okay.
Fahrzeug funktionstüchtig.
Watch out on the flanks, they're coming from the side.
Einsatzbereit, Kommandant. Ziel in Sicht. Ziel zerstört. Fahrzeug funktionstüchtig.
I mean, my game is lagging. That's how many fucking vehicles there are. We'll just pop out some air support.
Na los!
Not that you really... If I'm honest, you don't really need it. But,
Beeilung!
you feel it's necessary.
Der Feind.
So here come the... Oh, Jesus, good God, that's a lot of Soviet tanks.
Jawohl.
Erwarte Befehle.
Einsatzbereit, Kommandant. Feindliche Einheiten.
You did an outstanding job repelling that massive Russian counterattack. Going on the offensive today is out of the question. Take some rest. We are attacking tomorrow.
Alright, guys, so that's pretty much it for the major hard part, for the hard part of the German Kursk mission. I just wanted to make this video just to just to kind of, show people how to do it. As I know, I never watched any tutorials for this game when I did it the first time. And so the first time I did this, I attacked that village. My units were really kind of out of place. I wasn't sure where to put people. I wasn't sure how many Russians were coming, and I ended up losing a lot of units. And actually lost the mission the first time, which is a little difficult because that's actually, you have to lose all your units, and I lost it. And so I hope this helps some people when you do this mission, and hopefully you don't lose like I did on the first time and you pass it, and you can continue on the campaign. Anyways, guys, thanks for dropping by. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. I don't know. I honestly don't really give a shit what you do. YouTube has demonetized a lot of my videos because they're sick. And anyway, fuck that. I'll see you guys later. Peace.